Then the Lord spoke to you out of the midst of the fire. You have heard the sound of words, but... Okay. Okay. Just gonna put this away. Mama, what is this? Is that what it looks like? It's not. I'm gonna ashhadu an la. Wait, where'd it go? The holy bubble. Bro, honestly, the Red Bulls in Pennsylvania suck, man.
Oh, I actually thought it was open.
Yeah. Thank God.
I thought it was open when you threw it.
Thank God it's Friday. Thank the Lord indeed. My name is Mohammed.
My name is Beck.
I'm Cody.
So as you guys can tell, we have a new guest. My cousin, I'm joking. Cody.
The Coatster, the man, the myth, the legend.
He's what's your ethnicity? You ever told me you're like half Italian?
Oh, no. Italian, no. I believe I'm
Italian.
Irish, German. I'm like a mix of a lot of things. I think even Polish.
So you're white.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
white.
No.
I think that's clear.
So we're here in Reading,
Reading,
Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, he's a grammar Nazi.
Yeah.
Here to visit our friend Cody, to whom we met roughly a year and a half ago.
November of 2019.
Yo,
He's
he
doing his
remembered.
math. Yeah, we were talking about this last night.
Well, that warms
what
my
season
heart.
did we play on?
Oh man, those were good times. What season was it? Do you remember?
Season 3.
And yeah, the first game was Apex Legends. You're playing Lifeline.
You took your character. You went off.
Yeah. And I didn't know who you guys were. I remember I carried the
hell out of
You did. I can't even. I can't say anything about that. And then the reason was you actually I invited you to a party because I clicked on your profile and your profile had your Instagram on it. And I'm like, what kind of idiot puts his Instagram? It's so weird. And then I went on the Instagram like, this guy plays hockey. This guy.
I thought he was Canadian at first.
Yeah, me too. We thought you were Canadian.
Oh, sorry, with the way I talk too.
Yeah.
Even what was it? Smooth said I sound Canadian when I say certain words.
Yeah, you're like you do A. I'm like what?
Yeah.
And then I remember I commented and then. Well, what did you think when I first commented? What was going through
I
your head?
actually didn't know who it was, and I thought there was some weird dude just commenting on my photo. That's like literally what I thought. Until I saw it said best lifeline, I was like, oh, that's the dudes I just play with.
And then you joined the party and
yeah, joined the party. Yeah, joined the party.
Subhanallah, man, the rest is history.
And then we would play like at least like usually once a week. It was usually on a Friday a lot because it was around the time you were running that youth center. Stuff like that.
My man, that youth program. Yeah. We were on the youth program. Big would help me, and of course Muhammad Zain. I love that guy. And what happened was a long, tired day. We used to get like 50 kids a week running the youth program in the second floor of the mosque. And then I would come in to play Apex. We stay up sometimes all the way to like 3 a.m.
Was it 3 a.m.? I always thought it was like 1 a.m.
So sometimes barely, but we did it sometimes. And you know how you're the best and I'm the second best. And
whoa,
what happened?
You're the second best?
You didn't tell him?
He did beat you that one time, that 1v1. Remember when he was using the
hemlock?
Okay,
yeah.
Let's just wait until you get your PS5 and then let's talk.
Didn't you say it was a good gun after you started using it? Because you saw him using it.
Well, I already knew it was a good gun. I thought it was a little cheap to do in a 1v1.
It doesn't matter. You died from a bazooka. Gun is a gun. Okay.
One time, me and him played for like 8 hours or 9 hours one day.
That was one day.
Was that during Corona?
Yeah, it was during Corona. Yeah.
You guys nothing.
We literally played from like, I think it was like 12 in the noon till like 10 o'clock at night or something like that. It was like 10 hours.
Such low lives.
I remember even when you were playing with us, you were like saying, you kept on noticing we were saying like, Inshallah, Alhamdulillah. We started screaming in Arabic.
I was really interested about Cody. He always asked questions and everything. And they were not offensive, but he always asked them or anything.
About like kind of pertaining to our religion, because even sometimes
about religion, about our culture, and we
I always
were
ask
so
questions
cool about it.
You
kept on being sarcastic about it. It was hilarious.
You never met a Yemeni before this, am I right? You never met a Middle Eastern probably. Did your high school have any Arabs?
I think one.
In your high school had any Muslims?
I think one.
Really?
The only thing.
Was he Arab? He
was Arab, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there could have been other Muslims. I just didn't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like Arab-wise, like that were actually Arab. There was only one person.
Yeah, I mean, usually Christians have their when it like comes to their denomination, like you see the cross. Jews, you see the yarmulke. Arab Muslim, you can't really tell. Maybe the beard, but then again, it could just be a hipster with the beard. Yeah, and if everybody has
got the cross necklace a lot of the time.
Yeah. But like even growing a beard now is a trend. It was not a trend. My dad told me like 10 years ago. Like you would actually be looked down upon or something like that, but now everybody goes hipster, celebrity. Yeah, but now everybody goes like wisdom, anything. But like I remember even when we were doing like our prayer breaks, like where are you guys going? Like we'll be back in 5 minutes, and then you eventually ask like, what do you?
Us, yo, is it time to pray for you guys?
Oh yeah, you started memorizing our prayer time. But yeah, being in of course, us living like biggest city in New York City and many different walks of life in New York City. Over here in Reading, we noticed like it's so.
Dead?
I didn't want to use that. No, I don't want to use the word dead because I swear I don't want to have like a negative connotation. I would just say it's just more humble lifestyle. What would you think you would ever want to live at, in a big city like L.A., Houston, New York City?
I wouldn't want to personally. I don't like all the noise. I don't like that many people.
But isn't this a little too quiet?
Come on.
I think it'd be too quiet if I lived in the countryside or something like that. Yeah, that'd be too quiet. But this.
Wait, there's places quieter than this?
Yeah, you ever been to like the countryside where like there's like it's like.
How can it get quieter than this? I'm not even joking.
You can get a lot quieter.
You could probably hear my thoughts if it's that quiet.
Yeah, it gets a lot quieter.
New York City, you hear the fire trucks every 10 seconds, a guy beeping, a fight happening in the corner, some hobos screaming at each other.
This could be 1 in the morning, honestly.
Yeah, and over here I see trees, actually. I'm not even joking. Over there we have Central Park, but again, it's like you never see any. The only animals you see is like squirrels or like crackhead pigeons. Like, that's the only thing. Yeah, bro, the pigeons aren't even scared of you in New York City. But no, I
you know what, the 10-pound rats?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
They
Seriously.
wrestle the cats there.
Yeah, they're like radioactive rats. Me personally, I did tell Baker, and I told my own family I do want to move into Michigan. Michigan.
Yikes.
You tend to move to a place that has your family and that has people of your kind, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of Muslims. And Dearborn is a city in America, I believe, that has the most Muslims. But not even that. The main reason is because I have family. And I'm just like you. I like places that are honestly extremely quiet. It's just like, no need, or also in Michigan, like, there's, you could have the Second Amendment over there. You could own a gun. Over there in Michigan, it's like, it's less stressful. In New York City, sometimes they rank it as the top 10 most stressful cities in the world, up there with Tokyo and London and Seoul in Korea. So me personally, like, I'm actually with you. I would definitely not choose a city just because I grew up my whole life in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, just like
you should be used to it.
You grew up like your first
man.
6 years we're in Brooklyn.
I don't remember any of that though. So
what would you choose? Please don't.
The city, come on.
Why?
Man.
Why? Because it's New York City?
No, because it's just so slow over there. I feel like it's a waste of time. There's nothing to do in Dearborn or whatever other states that are slow and boring like that.
What about here though? Is Dearborn almost like here in a way? Like
no, Dearborn's more life.
Is it?
What is
more potholes
what is the
as well.
population here? What is the population
in this entire county? Just the county of Berks? 450,000, I think, or 420,000.
That's it?
Yeah.
Like, that's
not even the population of just Brooklyn or
the population
Bronx
of Brooklyn's 2 million.
Yeah.
Of Brooklyn itself.
Yeah.
Not even Queens or Bronx or. Wow. I mean, no, Dearborn is I think Dearborn's part of Detroit. Probably my Michigan viewers are gonna correct me.
Huh?
I think Dearborn's part of Detroit. It's like a mini. I'm not sure, but anyways, I know they only have like 100,000 people. Majority of them are like Lebanese and Yemenis and Iraqis and of course Polish and Irish. But again, bro, trust me. Everything you could do in New York City. Of course,
you cannot do it in Michigan.
Yeah,
Dude.
Bro, the parking's easier in Michigan.
Than here?
You're
talking about just between New York and
I'm talking about New York and
Michigan.
Michigan.
You don't need a car in New York.
Bro,
you don't really need one.
I'm not and take that crappy subway. That's a high crime rate and it's just
a lot of dirty people go on that. You never know.
Bro, the crime rate is going crazy in New York City ever since the BLM and what's going on. You seen what happened with the White House? What's your reaction on that?
What's your 2 cents?
It's just okay. It's stupid to me because
on what
you
side?
complain. You complain about how you have a group of Antifa and BLM doing bad things, right? And you call them animals, savages, but then you act like them yourself.
Hypocrisy.
It's hypocrisy in its form. So then there's no difference. The left will do it to the right. The right will do it to the left. There's no in between when it comes to that. That's why I just don't follow any of those guidelines of either of them.
So are you in between, or are you like to look at both sides, look at both perspectives?
I think it's good to look at both perspectives because I think if you look at both perspectives, you can get a better outcome.
But ultimately,
nobody wants to do that.
Would you choose? Would you subscribe to one ultimately? No. Yeah, I think me too.
Yeah, I think the country be better run by somebody who holds ideals from both sides instead of just one side. Because when you have somebody who can hold ideals from both sides, you can actually get a person that can be that in betweener for the people that are on the right that hate the left.
I would agree with some stuff with Republicans, and then I would disagree with some stuff with Democrats. But I would agree with some stuff with Democrats.
Yep.
And I get you, man. I get you. It's supposed to be like a yin-yang and balance and stuff like that.
Yeah, you need a balance. But sadly, you don't get a balance when you have just a two-party system that's always winning, with one side wins and the other side wins. If you had the third party, like the Libertarian side, that actually had a chance to win a presidency, you'd have a better chance at, in my opinion, a better country. But what happened at the White House to me is almost like treason. They're taking out American flags, replacing them with Trump flags. they idolize Trump as I don't know, something that he should not.
Did they call the National Guard?
That was actually Mike Pence who called the National Guard. It wasn't even Donald Trump.
His vice president.
Yeah. Because Donald Trump wasn't really doing anything about it, of course. Because it was his people, of course. He wouldn't do anything about it.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't. Okay, there's many liberals label Donald Trump with specific names. Fascist and bigot,
Neo-Nazi.
and it gets annoying.
He has fascist I can never.
I can't speak on that because I really don't.
But he
the only
doesn't
fascist leader I know is the Italian one.
Well, Mussolini. Mussolini. He was
that's the only one I know, and I know he was authentic fascist. Like I know definitely he was a fascist. But
Germany was socialism that then ended up into the dictatorship of Adolf Hitler. Yeah,
okay.
And then that's who was formed in the Axis Party.
This is all leading up to World War II?
No, this is all during World War II. That's what made the Axis Party. Mussolini and Adolf Hitler were part of the Axis Party along with Japan at the time.
So I mean, like I said, some certain names they call him. What I see incites violence, in my opinion. I think there's authentic evidence that he does.
In ways, he finds ways. He knows the words he's saying.
He knows. He's
dumb, but he's
both people on both very good people on both. When he's talking about the white and neo-Nazis, like they're both very good people on both sides. And when he spoke about this, or last time he tweeted a video of a guy.
That was during Charlottesville, I believe he said.
Yeah. Last time he tweeted a guy was a Muslim destroying a statue of Mother Mary. But like again, he knows that was ISIS, and they're already sick in the head. You know what I mean? So I would agree with that. Honestly, would I call him racist in this? I think
not
people are not careful with the words they say, because a lot of people say words and they have to understand. Whether in this life or when God holds you accountable, you're gonna be held accountable for the words you say.
And those words can be twisted by people too. So when you say
100%.
and he says things so simply plain that it can be easily twisted.
He said
to
Islam hates us, or he says this, and I'm like saying, is he not? He's not the most Republican or Democrat. Even if you're the biggest, you worship Donald Trump like he's your idol. You could at least agree that he's not the most eloquent guy. Yeah. He really his level of articulation is probably like a third grade level. I swear.
Oh, yeah. And it's kind of sad that honestly, we've gotten to that point where nobody even idolizes or respects presidents anymore. When he come people respected Barack Obama until his term ended. Then everybody hated him originally.
You know what?
Republicans especially.
I remember. A lot
of Republicans hated him at first too, because a lot of the Republicans were racist Republicans that didn't like the fact that he was black that won presidency. But then after he won his second term and stuff like that, it wasn't as there was none of this disrespect towards presidents much until Donald Trump. Every president gets disrespected in some
I would
way.
agree. You seen what Kathy Griffin did? It disgusts me till this day. You didn't see the actor, the redhead actor? She had a picture of Donald Trump, and he had a decapitated, severed head, and he was bleeding. And she's an actor, a famous actor. Nothing really happened to her. Or I think
some heat for it.
She got some heat.
She also apologized later on.
I know. I wish she did.
She did that in any other country, she probably would have been screwed. Not any other country.
Every other. That's disgusting.
If they do that to their presidents,
look,
exactly.
You could use a freedom of speech card just like that. Very unintelligent French leader did. How he made a picture of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whom he knows. Yeah, he knows 1.8 billion people. 24% of this world's population respects, and yet he did that because he says it was in the banner of freedom of speech. And then it was actually hypocrisy because there's embassy. They have a French embassy in Mauritania because I believe the French conquered them, and they put up a picture on their website of the French president on top of a snakehead, and right away the French spokesperson of Mauritania withdrawed. I'm like, but isn't that freedom of speech? You know what I mean? So the whole freedom of speech thing, I think, like I said, somebody shouldn't. Doesn't necessarily. You have freedom of speech.
It doesn't protect you for everything you say.
I have the freedom of speech to go outside and call a random person a pig, and I wouldn't go to jail for that. But why should I? That's disgusting character. Yeah. Nobody talks about character anymore. Nobody talks about civility, respecting one's.
If you want to say these things to yourself at your home, stuff like that's different. Out of frustration, if you do actually hate these people. Okay, you might have your
perhaps reasons. You can say it to yourself, even though you're affecting
going out in public and displaying that same bad personality trait of yourself to the actual society and to other people is the problem. I think if you just keep that stuff to yourself at home, it's not doing any damage to anybody besides yourself. But that doesn't bother me. That's bothering them. It's not bothering me.
I feel like many people they use the ad hominem. It's one of the fallacies. I think it's in philosophy or something. It's one of the fallacies where you attack the person and not the argument, you know. So a lot of people would attack the person, and they would even touch the argument. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they call you fat. Oh, but you know what? You're fat and ugly. And then I tell them, oh, you didn't even counter my argument. Yeah, but you're fat, ugly, and disgusting. You know what I mean? So many people, they want to attack the person. They don't want to attack their ideology, or they don't want to, not should I say attack, you know, differ. Nothing wrong with having a difference with somebody. I'd rather have a difference because, you know, you learn. You know, even Bruce Lee, I believe it's Bruce Lee, he said, the most dangerous man in the world is the one that thinks, listens, and observes. Many people are not learning or listening. There's a difference between listening and hearing. Like right now, I'm listening to you, but I could hear like the TV. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Many people are just listening so they can reply.
Yeah.
They're not. They don't want to learn. Like I had
absorbing the information. Is what
yeah,
it is.
absolutely. Like they're just
letting it go
listening. So they're already formulating a. They're already having a reply. Like they're gonna jump on this guy. They're not even hearing his side of the story. Like I remember you asked. We're not offensive to me. You asked some questions about Islam, but you asked me, and if I shut you down, who else are you gonna ask? You know, or like me, like
Baker?
Baker. No, but like you know what I mean. Like,
and then
like
if not him, I'll just ask somebody else.
Let's say I had a question. Let's say what is it called? I remember this one person. I spoke with him in real life. He really hated Islam, and he's like pro-atheist. And I'm trying to have a discussion with him, and I'm being as calm as possible. And I had another person watching with me, and the fact that the way he's so vulgar towards me, and so he's using like inappropriate words. He's already losing the argument. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be respectful. I'm trying to listen to your I'm trying to listen to your side of the story, and you want to listen to my side of the story. It's not interrupting people. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. But like these days on the news, especially with the way Donald Trump does it, he gives people like nicknames, like little what is it called? He gives everybody a nickname.
I remember when he did Mini Mike at one point.
Mini Mike or this. Yeah, I'm not an advocate for bullying, but I could definitely say it was a pretty funny nickname. But honestly, jumping through topics, I would say when you would ask us questions, like important questions on life. Like I remember, like even though I'm a Muslim and you necessarily don't adhere to a faith. Am I correct?
I believe in God, but I don't have a.
So you could still call you're a theist basically. A theist is a person who believes in a higher power or a God or a creator, whatever you want to call it. You being a theist and us being Muslims, we have our belief system and we submit / follow the laws of the laws that are found in the Quran and what Prophet Muhammad established, right? Peace be upon him. Why would you say it's important for like people to take religion seriously? Why do you think religion is needed in people's lives? Why is it vital to them? Or is it? Yeah.
It is. I think one thing is for sure is that I think it helps a lot of people cope with anxiety, fears death, their troubles. It gives them hope. It gives them something
to cling on to.
Yeah, it gives them something to cling on to, and I don't think that's a problem. I think it's better to have that hope and that feeling of safety that when you die you're gonna go somewhere. It's not gonna just be like this eternal nothing.
Because some questions science can't answer.
Oh yeah, well there's a lot of things science can't answer.
Yeah, like
science
and this
is questioning science.
And you're being a person that mashallah very knowledgeable when it comes to the field of science. So you would say that of course it's coping. They in their eyes their questions are answered, like the big life questions. Mm-hmm. What is the purpose of life? To us is to follow God and follow His Prophet, submit to God. We believe true happiness is remembering God. It's a verse in the Quran. Verily, in their remembrance of God, do hearts truly find rest. And there's countless evidences of this. Of like many people tend to think money will replace the void in your heart. Then open the news, another millionaire killed himself, or they have everything but they're still doing drugs, or so that's what we would say like is the purpose of life. Or another question is what happens after death? Science would just say you turn into ashes.
Science says that you decompose, break down, become nutrients for the ground, the soil,
and you become a tree.
Like that. That treats a dead person. Some science would explain that it's almost like before you were ever born is what it's like after you die, which is you don't know, it's nothingness.
And you would say humbly that you wouldn't know the answer yet because you don't
I believe in two possibilities. More of the idea that there is a heaven with God and stuff like that. And the other possibility of I'm not going to get into it. It's more of a science thing of like time. It has to do with time and stuff like that. I'm not going to dive into that whole segment.
So would you say that motivates you to seek a religion or to seek something to follow.
No,
seek a belief, because death is always knocking at everybody's
exactly.
door.
Like I feared. I'm actually someone that like fears death greatly. Like I had.
I would say it's a good thing. In my opinion.
I used to like have such like I used to think I was having a heart attack like every day. I was so afraid of dying. Like, I used to have panic attacks so bad.
Even though you're young,
oh my god! Yeah, I was 18 years old. I called 911, thought I had a heart attack.
Sheesh.
Yeah, because I was so afraid of dying.
But why are you afraid of dying? It's a serious question.
And my thing is, I'm not actually afraid of the after death at all. I'm not afraid of that. I'm afraid of the actual moment of dying and not being able to be in the world anymore with people I know and love and stuff like that. It's more of that. So but now as I've gotten older,
but think about that.
I'd rather me die before people I love. So now that I've gotten older,
because you're afraid it will have a severe impact on you. It's gonna hurt you. I mean, it's normal.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anybody wants it. Like I see like my parents go through stuff with like their parents, like how they pass stuff like that. I don't want to. And like even just my grandparents, people that are close to me, I don't want to deal with any more of it. So
I would say it's interesting. Hamza Torsis, he was born a Greek Christian. He not recently, but like maybe like 10 years ago, he converted to Islam, and I think he currently resides in the UK. He has his own channel and own books, and he's an amazing brother. May Allah bless him. And he spoke about death in his book called The Mirage of Atheism. He said how the reason why people fear death is exactly what you just said. They're afraid of leaving this world. Because what happens is death is a great reminder. And it's a reminder that, death, it's a reminder only if it happens to other people. But if it happens to you, it's not a really reminder because it already happened. Yeah. Like if I stub my toe, I know that's a reminder that table's in the way. Yeah, you know what I mean. But death, it comes.
Is it a reminder? Because I do the same. I stub the same thing all the time.
Accidents happen.
Yeah. Stubbing your toe probably hurts more than death. Okay. No, but it's that's a scare. I would say that's the petrifying thing about death.
Yeah.
That's the terrifying thing about death.
Even though I'm not worried about the afterlife, even
no, but you don't have to be
religious. That'd be a better thing. Afterlife would be better than Earth. It would seem like like living on Earth. But I love Earth. I love living on this planet. I love humanity. I love all the living things.
Nothing wrong. It's not a sin to love.
But humanity's also flawed.
Okay, so when you say you love the Earth, like you just love your family. Am I right? Like you love.
I care for even like people that are strangers.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean, like even strangers are important to human. Oh, I thought you like. I thought.
No.
Oh, my bad.
No, I mean,
chuckle or anything.
Okay.
It's in the Quran many times. God, God tells the people of Arabia, or He tells humanity as a whole, I should say. But He specifically used the word camel. I'm guessing because the Quran was revealed in the Arabian Peninsula. It's like God says, "أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ." You know what that means, right?
Yeah, translate that one for me.
So God says, "أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ," like God is it says it's in the 30th juz. It says and do the people not see the camels and how is it created? The camel can go miles and miles walking. It could go without water for days. It stores its fat in the hump. It has 3 eyelids. Or God says أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا إِلَى الطَّيْرِ فَوْقَهُمْ. God says do they not see the birds and how I created them and how they're gliding above? God says, do they not see the thunder and when it strikes? God says, mentioning, God even says, does mankind not see man and woman and how I bring them together in love? These are all signs of God. Nothing. I would say it's of course not a sin to appreciate God's blessing. Nothing wrong. Of course I love my life and I thank God every day. I swear we wake up and we say Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'dama amatana wa ilayhi nushur. Every day it's a Muslim prayer.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Thank you. I know it has to do with like being maybe like God is.
It says all thanks and praise.
All thanks and praise is due to the High.
Is due to the High, the one that bring us to life after He took our life away. Because when you're
I didn't know the second part.
Okay, when you're sleeping. God takes your soul out, and in the ending part it says الذي وإليه نشور. So all thanks and praise is due to the Most High.
Wait, where's my soul go?
Well, God, we believe God takes our soul, and then when we wake up, God puts our soul back in. But there's some cases where people just.
I'm confused. Then what am I dreaming? I'm so confused.
I mean, you can still dream. I'm not sure there's actually a whole thing in Islam about dreams. I think you asked a question about Prophet Joseph.
Yeah, because he had dreams of the future and stuff like that.
Joseph was a dream interpreter. But anyways, so and then even like when somebody passes away, you know what you always say? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. It's an Islamic verse that we're supposed to say every time I hear of a death, which translates to verily, verily we come from God, and verily to God is our ultimate return. That's what we believe. God creates you from,
return him, yeah.
Yeah, God creates you from, mud, clay, probably some white clay for you. No, but you get what I'm saying. So it's our final abode, right?
Yeah.
That's what that's what actually, me personally, this religion, I think a beauty about religion is it's subjective. I mean, like, meaning you could get closer to God via many ways. Of course, we believe, like, through Islam is the absolute perfect way to seek God and seek his messenger, because Christianity, there's a lot of errors. We would respectfully say, like, the Catholic Bible has more chapters than the Protestant, or there's contradictions and stuff like that, or the Trinity, God died but that was his son, all that stuff. So when people, like me personally, I got closer to God via, like, I had a family member that died. Specifically, his name was Hamza al-Jahmi. He was a boxer, and he died at probably 18 or 19, maybe even 17, Michigan. And when he passed away, I was like, man. And that was at a time where I was not religious at all. I was doing, like, the same crappy stuff I was doing. So when he passed away, and inshallah he's in Jannah, it means heaven. I think you know that word, yeah, heaven. So, and may Allah have mercy on him. That was such a serious reminder. I'm like, bro, death does not discriminate. Death doesn't care whether you're black, white, 17, or 85. Death does not care. God will send the angel of death, and the angel of death will fetch your soul, and it's over. So I felt like it's important. How about I start taking, these life because I always had these life questions. The thing with me is, these life questions start creeping up on me when I was in late high school. But what I kept on doing is, like, it's crazy. Like, I really feel like it's from Satan. Like, I would be hanging out with my friends doing stupid crap, and then life questions would hit me like, bro, you're doing all this quote unquote fun stuff, but you go home sad. Isn't there a bigger purpose? So what I would do right away is, like, oh, let me just put my headphones on. You get it? Yeah. Like, I would just use my headphones as an escape. I'm like, oh, let me just hire the music, man. Screw this. Because I would hate to answer these questions. And I know these questions are bothering me, but I would raise the volume on my music. Let me take a walk, man. Let me ignore these. No, but you're supposed to approach these thoughts.
Yeah.
So, and then I started reading about Islamic philosophy, about the purpose of life, of how me and you, we could both agree on something, whether you're a theist or a Muslim, that this life is not perfect. It's full of evil.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And you'll probably agree with me that, maybe you would disagree, but would you agree, like, this world is always going to be full of evil? There's always going to be bad people in it.
No matter what, even if you found a way to rid all of the evil, eventually it would come back.
There would be a society that would bring it, yeah.
You can never fully get rid of it forever.
No, you can. That's why the Prophet Muhammad, it says, like, peace be upon him, be in this life as if you're a stranger that goes under a tree to seek its shade and then gets out. That's all life is. You're going from point A to point B. You know what I mean? And I think one quote that really got me was a quote by Ibn Taymiyyah. Perhaps just like Maimonides being the most influential Jewish scholar, Ibn Taymiyyah being the most influential Islamic scholar from modern day Turkey. He once said, A real man fears the death of his heart before the death of his body. I'll repeat. A real man fears the death of his heart before the death of his body. Meaning, I felt like at one point I had a dead heart.
Yeah.
Meaning what? I was just so numb to everything.
Yeah.
I would watch these videos and I'm so numb. I watch this guy getting beat up. I'm like, I'm so numb. I watch this guy that's religious and I'm like, man, what a loser. I'm judging him. I'm always judging people while I'm actually the sick one. I'm the sick, sad one. Sick not in a physical aspect and more like a spirituality aspect. I'm sick, and what is your? I mean, do you believe in the soul and stuff like this? The soul. Yeah. You actually do.
Yeah, I do.
And like spiritual, like somebody being spiritually sick, like he's seeking other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So that's where I would say religion was a coping method. Like I started listening to the Quran, or I started reading it, or I started dwelling into like how did Salah ad-Din conquer Jerusalem?
Yeah.
How did Prophet Muhammad like again? He was a single man in the Arabian Peninsula that somehow united all the Arab tribes, and from that built a generation. He erased racism from his society. He erased drinking. he erased people. People used to beat their wives back then. People used to. There's like pagan Arabs to building an empire. It started with like the Rashidun, the Khulafa al-Rashidun, I think it's in English. They destroyed the Sassanids to the right, the Romans to the left. How did it one man? And I started doing this research. So I would say to a person that's dealing with these life questions, approach it.
Yeah.
Dive into it. Don't ignore it by drinking. Or my method was music, and I was listening to this garbage music that just preached a lifestyle of, which even
Money.
you don't like. Party, drink. You don't even like drinking, you told me.
Yeah,
And you're not even a Muslim, you know what I mean? It's drinking and partying, hit it and quit it, and you know what I mean, and take her from this. And this is what they actually, and again, like even young kids listen to this, and we wonder why they grew up effed up, so...
I grew up listening to it actually, and I didn't do any of those things.
Thank God, it's because you hang out with me,
I just met you a year ago, though, so it was...
Yeah. So, what's your opinion on a person just seeking, like I said, seeking religion? Just would you ever seek religion and take it more seriously later in your life, or would you need more of conviction?
That's a good
Are
question.
you waiting for that conviction part? Are you waiting for the evidence? Are you perhaps?
It's not about evidence.
Are you looking at Judaism and Christianity and Islam? Or are you just looking at Islam for now? What do you think? Where's life taking you right now?
Wherever life takes me.
So you're like a Bedouin. You're just roaming. Bedouins are like nomadic.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
nomadic
yeah.
people. They just roam.
I'm just
You're
roaming.
you're waiting for something, or?
Not waiting for anything.
But wouldn't you say you have to chase it?
I'm not chasing anything either, though.
So what are you exactly waiting for? For it to hit you? Or
I'm waiting for something.
You're waiting for something.
I'm hopeful for that something, but I'm waiting for it.
Interesting.
My name's Muhammad Al Jami. This is why he's about to take it. I'm here for that. So no, I'm joking. No, that's.
What about Abu Bakr? What do you got to say about any of this?
Oh, well, about religion and whatnot?
Yeah.
Well, the exact last question, talking about, well, it was totally different. It was like, I already believe in Islam. There's nothing much.
You were born.
Yeah, but insight from insight from a different mind.
You were born a Christian, or?
I was born absolutely nothing.
I'm talking about like your family. What did they adhere to?
Dad was atheist. Mom was pagan.
Interesting.
Okay, and you are of course just like me, born Muslim.
Yeah, exactly. And I followed it. But if I'm saying if I was like in your perspective or whatnot, I don't know if I would ever joined another seek the religion.
Have you ever seek religion?
I don't know. That would be too hard, honestly.
Well, because when you grow up, like especially for my example, like I said, like you didn't grow up with any ideology about God. You didn't grow up with any, any of that.
But at the same time,
like I said,
you believe in a creator.
Because of one situation that literally turned my mind around. I explained it to, I think, you.
Yes, you have.
I don't think I explained it to him.
You had an epiphany?
Yes, a heavy one.
You had an epiphany?
Yes, it was the craziest thing I've ever experienced in my life. I remember I was...
You want to...
Yeah, I'll share.
Right. Okay.
I was like probably 16 at the time. Thought it was cool. I was with like two of my friends, smoking a cigarette, walking by a church, right?
A church.
I remember I threw the cigarette butt on the ground. My friend Trent, he was like a Christian kid. Yeah. And he said, "You can't do that. This is like Christ, something like that." I stepped on it and I said, "Fuck, Christ and God." I said that and I flipped off this guy, right? And then not even a whole second later, it started pouring rain, like right down on us. Right after that. And it was a clear day too. And I was like, that was actually the moment.
What did your friend said something?
He didn't say anything. We just kept running from the rain.
You all kept running?
Well, I left myself.
Oh, okay.
And he went somewhere else. I went Dairy Queen.
Where'd you end up going?
Dairy Queen. Got food.
Oh, God sent you Dairy Queen. Okay.
Yeah. Right after I got the message, I was like, it's time to eat some food.
God's like, you need a vanilla soft serve cone.
I got a Blizzard burger, fries.
That's the same.
And then after that, I don't really remember.
What were you pondering on life that night?
No.
Wait, so you just had that was your epiphany, basically.
Yep.
So you're not. Are you motivated to believe in God because of that sole event?
Nope. Not just from now. That's just the beginning of what made me start to actually.
Okay, and then are you also motivated to believe in God due to his, not necessarily his attributes, but his creations? Like we talk about the camels.
Yeah.
So
would you say? Things.
Yeah. Would you say because even as a person of science, and you know more about the body than me, the 206 bones and how the heart beats 100,000 times in a day, and the way that your kidneys filter blood better than a big dialysis machine. Would you say that also motivates you to believe in a higher creator, a higher power?
My bad. Yeah, it does. Yeah. I don't believe that.
What is that argument? It's called the argument for design, or like a. You believe in God because of the design of the earth. You mentioned to me if the earth was a little bit farther from the sun.
That's something I don't necessarily have to think that God physically took his time to create the earth the way he did. I believe he created the universe, right? He
No,
could
we
have had some
believe
help. He could have had some help in creating the Earth in ways too. But the Earth could have also been just through the natural collisions of the science has found ways that the Earth.
We are 100%. I would agree. Yeah, God.
I believe he created the universe.
Yeah.
I don't think, and I believe he created life. Then I don't think he necessarily created the actual rock we call Earth. That could have just happened through the actual correspondence
but that was
with the
also
universe.
the same thing as him created the universe.
And then exactly.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
you mean he does in the end. He does in a way then create Earth, yes. But it's like then he found that this was created and he gave life to it then, to that because he knew that planet could be habitable almost. Like there's probably not gonna lie, there's probably hundreds and hundreds of other planets out there just like ours.
Could be.
The universe is so vast, ginormous. It's just ever.
You know what's funny?
Expanding.
We're even talking about the universe. Let's take the planet Earth. I mean, some I don't know what they call oceanologists. Like I'll just say scientists. Some scientists.
What'd you call it? What?
Oceanologists, like people that study the ocean.
Word, I think.
People that study the ocean. Anyways, they say
Geologist?
Yeah, I don't know what they call it. I don't know what they call
I
it.
would go with geologist maybe.
But some
Sounds like it works.
not some like.
Should I Google it?
All of them say Google if you want to. All of them say that you know how big the water. It makes up like over 60% of Earth's mass. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest ocean being the Pacific Ocean.
Yep.
All 4 oceans, or some scientists say there's 5. We only, and I mean only, went through like probably less than 10% of the ocean.
Oh yeah. We know where.
Like, can you imagine that? We went through less than 10% of the ocean. How long we've been living on this earth? We're like, and how deep it, like, subhanAllah, like really, how deep is the ocean? Even when it comes to caves, there's some scientists, geologists, or whatever you want, study of rocks and stuff like that. Yeah, what is it called?
I just found it.
Yeah.
We were all wrong.
Oceanography.
Oceanography. Okay.
Sounds like
yeah,
a word.
that's what it's called. So there's some
Coming from Greek.
Even
Started with Greek.
even people that study caves and stuff, they say we didn't even of course we didn't even explore every cave in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more minerals out there. Maybe there's more stuff out there. Maybe there could be a cure for this, a cure for that. You know what I mean? So and this in of itself isn't awe to me. It's like it's recognizing how small we are first. Like we could talk about how good the body is, but the number one killer in the world is a mosquito. The mosquito kills more people than hippos, rhinos, lions, sharks. Than it kills all those.
You're talking about like
combined.
another living thing, right?
Yeah, but I'm just like, it's just a humbling thing. Like it's like.
And that little thing kills more.
Yeah,
than
that little
like
thing, and
other,
imagine how big we are, and we always
It kills a lot in your third world countries. A lot.
In
of
Africa,
yellow fever. You have yellow fever.
It's like West Africa, certain parts of it. Yeah, probably all. Unfortunately.
West Nile
I think
virus.
the only good. I'm sorry, it sounds rude. The most developed part of Africa is like North Africa. You know what I mean?
Or South Africa too.
So the country South, but I'm talking about like the northern region of Africa. But no, West Africa, Central Africa. Unfortunately, I know because I know you even like specifically studied HIV and.
Yeah. Where's Somalia again? Is that Eastern Africa?
Somalia's the Horn of Africa.
Oh, it's at the top right.
Yeah, it's like the Rhino
right.
Horn, East Africa.
Yeah.
It's right next to Yemen, actually.
Yeah, well, Yemen's across.
Yemen is actually considered an transgender.
What?
Transcontinental country.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because it's in 2 different continents.
Yeah.
Africa, just like Egypt is in Asia.
Well, look at Russia. Is in.
Right. Russia used to be the only country in the world that was in 3 continents. You know why? Russia's in, of course, Europe, Eastern Europe. Russia's in Asia and has those indigenous people. They look like Asians, like Mongols.
Yeah.
And also used to be that state that we have, the biggest
Alaska.
state in America.
Oh,
Alaska.
Yep.
yeah.
So Russia used to be in 3 different continents.
Yeah.
And then they sold Alaska to America, think for a cheap price, and they
I know.
ended up getting bamboozled. It was a couple of millions. But no, I think it's an important discussion. I think it's very important to have these talks on religion, on seeking your purpose in life, knowing that it's not all about wealth and provision and money and woman and power and authority and all this stuff that eventually diminishes. It's going to leave you eventually, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And your soul's eventually going to want, like me and Baker talking about, you're just always going to want more. That's how the son of Adam is. Like, we always want more. Like, God can give you a diamond. That's humans, yeah. The son of Allah, like, it's everybody. You don't have to be a certain faith. You don't have to be a certain color or age.
More money, more power, more.
And they're not gonna stop. They're just gonna get, They could own the whole world, and they'll want another world. Like, you know what I mean? And they're the only.
They'll get bored of that world. They'll be bored of owning this world and controlling this world. That they would just find a way to have another world, even though most likely you're not going to find another world to, have.
And the only thing that would stop them would be death. Like, that's when they would say, okay, I'm done.
Unless they found a way to do the unthinkable and cheat death. Then, if that happened, well, then that person's going to be
honestly, let's hope that does not happen. I feel like we're meant to just pass away. You know what I mean? I mean, we're meant to just pass away eventually. Yeah.
I want to ask a question about Islam, about a certain person, right, for a second.
A scholar or?
No, a person.
A prophet.
The Prophet Muhammad?
Not the prophet.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh wait, is it? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, go.
I actually have one question. I've not been able to find any information on this.
Okay.
Let's try.
How old is the false prophet supposed to be? And has he been alive? Yeah.
So look.
How long has he been alive? Because I saw a story about how he came across
Moses.
Yes, he was a follower of Moses or something. Not a follower, but he came across. He came across these people. In the desert
as well.
Yeah.
So how is he? My question is he like not able to like?
So
age
of course we believe Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. It means like verily God is able to do everything.
Yeah.
God is omnipresent, and God there's no doubt in that.
He can exist and not exist at the same time.
Yeah, God is always He's the beginning and He's the end. He was always before everything. There has to be a creator. He's before everything.
Yeah.
So we believe to be able to do everything. I guess first I should start off by saying me and Baker are not scholars at all. We don't have a degree in Islam. We just personally read books.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
He's able to.
I would assume that he has the reason why he's able to stay alive this whole time is because the power.
There's some stuff. There's some stuff.
Able to corrupt the earth, he would be able to
make himself
live be immortal in a sense. But he's
locked up on an island, right?
Something in a cave. Some people say the Bermuda Triangle. There's many Muslim.
That's a cool theory, actually.
No, there's many Muslim.
The Bermuda Triangle is pretty creepy.
There's many Muslim conspiracy theories.
That's why is he sucking them down all the time in the ocean?
There's some stuff that, of course, and I'm not. Of course, I would be ashamed of this. I just can't explain. But of course, that's where iman comes in. That's where faith comes in. That's where believing in God without a question. Yeah. That's where from a Jewish perspective, from a Muslim perspective too. Jews and Muslims, we believe he split the sea. Can I prove that to you scientifically? I honestly can't. We believe Jesus Christ is our beloved prophet. He did many things.
Yeah, healed sick. He watered the wine.
He healed the blind. He healed lepers, which is a skin condition where your skin gets scaly and itchy.
And you're gonna say, can you prove it? Like,
I can't.
You can.
He raised the dead.
That's what faith's for.
Yeah. Even the Ark of Noah.
Noah's Ark. Yeah.
It's in the Bible. It's a very famous story in the Bible too. I can't prove that, but can I disprove it? I can't. And it's just part of my faith.
Yeah. That's one thing I liked about Stephen Hawking. I believe it was Stephen Hawking who said, as a big renowned scientist as he is, like one of the most smart.
Is he the one that passed away?
Yeah,
the wheelchair.
Yeah,
he's one of the smartest scientists that ever existed. And even he said, you cannot prove that God doesn't exist or does exist. It's like no different than what you're saying right there. You can't disprove it or prove it.
Yeah.
So therefore you can't ever say it's not true.
And I really can't explain it to you, but it's just part of.
That's where faith comes in.
It's part of having that sweetness of faith. I believe in God's word. I believe that happened. Therefore I'm content in my heart. It happened. That's it. So when it comes to do we believe Dajjal? He was present. Was he present during the prophet Moses and Aaron? Yeah, Moses and Aaron during Musa and Harun in Arabic. We believe he was present. Was he present during the prophet Isa, Jesus? He was present. And during Muhammad. By the way, there's many
stories of
even during I'm talking about during the Prophet Muhammad's time.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
there's stories about there's actually a very famous hadith. Hadith meaning a quote of the Prophet Muhammad. He said that the biggest trial that's gonna affect humankind, the children of Adam. It's the biggest one. Not fornication, not alcohol, not gambling. He said the Dajjal.
Yeah.
The deceiver, the Al-Masih al-Dajjal, the Antichrist, while us believing Jesus is the true Christ.
Yeah.
So he's a very, very severe, and he's very crucial to learn about because it's not a joke. Many of his signs have already passed. If you read about the days of judgment, there's many things that the Prophet Muhammad prophesied.
Of course, I had to bring him up.
Yeah, no. I mean, I wouldn't say. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's not important. Yeah, I would say it's important. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, he was during the other prophets' time. He is the biggest test that's gonna happen. There's gonna be a time where like God says, like the rain, the clouds are gonna withhold their rain, and food's gonna be very not available. It's gonna be a famine, a scar. Yeah, just like So, and we believe that God's gonna send him as a test, and then he's gonna act like he's God while he's not. And Muslims should know right away he's not God because
But he finds ways.
And yeah, but you're gonna start.
He's gonna show miracles.
If you have weak faith, you're gonna say, "Wait, he just bring a man back to life."
Yeah.
He bring diamonds out of the floor.
And imagine seeing that in front of your face. Like you would almost believe. Like that's why he's
it's the ultimate test. That's why
truth. He has little truth in all of his false. That's what I was learning about the one day from one of these guys, one of the videos of
on
the
YouTube.
Speaker explaining how everything he says is false, but he always leaves a little truth in there.
Yeah.
To convert, to almost get you to believe.
He wants to bring a mass of people, and Prophet Muhammad said, "Don't even approach." He actually, one of my famous story, he said, even if you're a religious sheikh or imam, don't approach him trying to give him da'wah, trying to give him advice. Like even if you're knowledgeable,
don't try to change.
Yeah.
Hey, I was saying I should. I was just saying yesterday I could change.
The Prophet Muhammad specifically, he made a warning. He's like, don't even try. He said, get away from him. He said he's very specific in the hadith. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said he's gonna be here for 40 days, and each day feels like a year or something like that.
Yes, Zach talked about that. I equivalent the math of what that would actually be.
Yeah,
it's like a year. I can't remember. It was like a year, 3 months, or a week is exactly how long that time period would be. So it was somewhere around there. I might be wrong about the exact math of what I came from what I remember that day.
Yeah.
But I know you're talking about the one day or would last like a year.
Yeah.
The next, and then like the final 4 would be regular days or final 5.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact wording.
So I would never want to live in those times.
You would not want to live in those times, even though I was telling my imam. My imam didn't really yell at me. He's like, no. I was like, but what do you mean? It's, I already know I'm gonna do good. It might be cool to see him do this stuff. And I was a young kid. I was like, no, you do not want to live in these times. He said, just hope if you do live in these times, you're still a believer, and hope that God's gonna send Jesus Christ, because according to the Islamic tradition, he's not crucified. We don't believe the Romans or the Jews killed him, and we believe that God raised him. And yeah, we believe that Jesus Christ is gonna ascend down. He's gonna come to Jerusalem, which is the holiest. Kill him. Yeah, it's the holiest city in Islam, Judaism, Christianity, and that's that. And Jesus Christ will eventually, peace be upon him, will kill him.
Yep.
And there's some hadith saying during those times it will be the best years humanity has ever seen, in terms of peace.
What, after he's dead?
Yes, it's actually authentic hadith.
Wait, I thought when he comes.
When Jesus Christ comes and he kills a Dajjal, those are gonna be the best years humanity has ever seen.
I'm confused though, but I thought when Dajjal comes, like that's the end of the world. It's Judgment Day.
No, but and the hadith says, and soon after that, it's like this. Like the promise will be like very soon. Like that's when humanity, of course, goes back. I think me and you spoke about this. How sometimes God blesses you a little.
Yeah.
And then you end up going back to your bad ways.
Yeah.
And then that's what you need God. That's what you need trials for. Because ultimately, when a person passes away, it's supposed to remind you of God.
So Dajjal isn't the end of the world.
No. He's not necessarily like. Are you talking about
he's
like
not the end of humanity?
Are you talking about like Armageddon?
Yeah, he's not. The
No. But he's very like. I'm talking about like.
He's
the
close
scholars
to the
say
idea,
it's so close. Like again, you don't want to be living like.
End of the world.
I'll tell you like this, and we'll probably end off on this. Prophet Muhammad said, peace be upon him, one of the closest signs of day of judgment is that you know how bad society will be. He said, and by the way, he's talking in the Arabian Peninsula. He's talking in a time where even Christians wore hijab. Christians wore hijab 100 years ago, by the way. There's proof that Christians, even Christian women and Christian Roman Catholic nuns today and Russian nuns, they wear a hijab. Where we're talking about a time where women and men were not even holding hands back then. Women and men would never even kiss in public. Yet people today have sex in elevators. Anyways, so he said that one of the closest signs of day of judgment is that people will be having sex in public on the street like donkeys. He said that's one of the. He's like when you're living in those times where people are having sex. I'm talking about like real talk.
No, yeah, I know.
Imagine. You know what's the scary part? When I first heard this hadith 10 years ago, I was like, nah, that's not nowhere close. Living in these times, I'm like, can I be honest?
10 years.
Yeah, can I be honest, bro? There's men that grope their wives, that grope their girlfriends, and make out them OD in front of children. There's people that do this. So I wouldn't be surprised. It really would not be surprised if people soon will be having sex in front of the street and like donkeys. And probably Muhammad said they're gonna be like donkey. And because the people
I
just
could
might
see
say
that within another 10 years.
Yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised. Because you see what happened.
I see what happened in the past 10 years already.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
Imagine having
the next 10.
because you already see how sexualized the internet is, how sexualized children are.
Yeah.
Children are watching pornography at 10 years old. Yeah, man. So society is definitely on a slope, and then when I say a slope, I mean like a decline. That slope is going down really, really,
Big
really
facts.
quickly. Yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, I would say seek knowledge, and
Seek power.
Seek knowledge, and I would say don't wait for something to hit you. Seek it, because again, we just spoke about death, and death can reach you at any time. Don't depend on anybody. Just do your own research, and you come to conclusion that there's one creator, and that Jesus Christ is a prophet, and Prophet Muhammad. So that's what we would hope to be. I would end up with a quote by Ibn Taymiyyah, a famous Turkish scholar. He says, "Don't depend on anyone too much, because even in the darkness, your own shadow leaves you." Meaning that, you know what I mean? Even in your toughest times, always make sure when God tests you, it's like a good thing. Don't take a test as you disbelieving in God. Take a test as you get taking the action to seek God, and know it's a trial that will hopefully bring you closer to God. And another quote I'll probably it has to do with knowledge as well, because I would feel like this whole thing, this whole podcast revolves around knowledge, whether it be Cody seeking, having the epiphany, or seeking God, or doing his research, or just me, how I got shook when somebody passed away, and that's how I did my research. It's a quote by Al-Ghazali. He says, "Knowledge without action is wastefulness, and action without knowledge is foolishness." So
I got a quote.
Yes, please.
Maybe.
I walk with man.
What?
That's all.
I walk with man?
Who's that
Yeah.
from?
Is that Luke Skywalker?
Nope.
Is that a Star Wars reference?
Nope.
Please?
Nope.
Is
Okay.
it a quote from yours?
Nope.
Baker, you have a quote?
No quote today.
And you guys want to have any final remarks? We should be good.
If I die from COVID in the next 2 weeks, it's because I met these guys from New York.
Oh,
Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
Thank God
Come
indeed.
on.
My name's Mohammed. We'll catch you guys later. Love you guys.
We are officially done.
Dude, that was awesome.
The thing was about to die.